Assalamu alaikum. Have you felt it lately? A fog in your mind. A feeling that things are off. You scroll for hours but can't remember what you saw. You struggle to recall moments from last month, even last week. It's like your life is being written in disappearing ink. You feel unfocused, reactive, swinging between a strange numbness and a sudden agitation without knowing why. You are not alone in this. This is not just stress or burnout. What you are feeling is a spiritual state that Islam identified 1400 years ago with a single powerful word, ghafla, heedlessness, a deep and dangerous state of forgetting. But what if I told you that the memory you are being programmed to forget is not just where you put your keys or a conversation from last year? What if the true target is the oldest and most important memory you have? The memory of a promise you made to Allah before you were even born. Today, we are not just going to talk about a digital detox. We are going to talk about a spiritual reawakening. We will pull back the curtain on the great amnesia and learn how to remember our way home. Our faith warns us that the adornments of this worldly life are amusement and diversion. In our time, that diversion has been perfected into a science. It's in your pocket, in your hand, a glowing screen engineered for one purpose: to capture your attention and hold it hostage. This is the modern engine of Ghafla. An algorithm, a reality manufactured by code, learns your triggers with terrifying precision. It knows what angers you, what makes you feel lonely, what sparks your envy. It then feeds you a perfectly curated diet of content designed to keep you scrolling, clicking, and reacting emotionally. You believe you are making choices, but your inner world is being quietly reshaped without your permission. This constant state of overstimulation has a devastating spiritual consequence. It makes silence feel unbearable. It prevents deep thought and reflection, tafakkur. And without the quiet space for tafakkur, you cannot truly connect with Allah. You become spiritually numb. Your God-given instincts, your fitra, begin to dull. Your sense of self starts to soften and blur. This is the danger. When you are in a state of ghafla, you forget what truly matters. And when you forget what matters, you inevitably forget who you are. The ultimate architect of this heedlessness, Shaitan, wants one thing above all else. He wants you to forget your Lord, so you will forget yourself. So what is this ultimate memory that is under attack? It is the most foundational truth of your existence. Allah tells us in the Quran about a moment that is imprinted on every single human soul, a moment before this worldly life began. He gathered all of us, every soul that would ever exist, and he asked one question: Am I not your Lord? Alastu bi rabbikum? And in unison, every single one of us replied, Yes, we have testified. Bala Shahidna. Surah Al-Araf 7:172. This is the Mithaq Alast, the primordial covenant. This testimony, Allahu Rabbi, Allah is my Lord, is the factory setting of your soul. It is the core of your fitra, your natural disposition. It is the reason a part of you always seeks meaning, always yearns for a higher purpose, always feels a pull toward the divine, even in your darkest moments. Now understand the spiritual war we are in. The constant noise, the algorithmic manipulation, the mass amnesia, it is all a sophisticated, relentless campaign to bury this memory. It is an attempt to make you forget your testimony. Because if Shaitan can make you forget that Allah is your Lord, he can convince you to accept anything else as your Lord: your desires, your wealth, public opinion, or the algorithm itself. If he can make you forget your true identity as Abdullah, a servant of Allah, he can rewrite your identity for you. You will start to believe the numbness is normal. You will think the apathy is just who you are now. He fractures your memory of the covenant so he can fracture your identity, so you will control yourself on his behalf. If the disease is ghafla, forgetfulness, then Allah has prescribed the perfect cure. The cure is its direct opposite, dhikr, remembrance. This is our path back. Let's outline the practical steps to implement this divine antidote and reclaim our inner world. First, practice muraqabah, mindful self-awareness. This is the act of seeing the fog for what it is. When you instinctively reach for your phone, pause for a single second and ask why. Is this for a specific purpose, or is it an escape from silence? Is it a tool, or is it a trance? You don't have to judge yourself, just notice. This simple act of noticing is the first step to breaking the spell of heedlessness. Second, ground yourself in salah and wudu. The most powerful way a Muslim returns to their body and soul is through prayer. The physical acts of bowing and prostration shatter the mental fog. They are a full-body declaration of your true purpose and identity. Before that, the act of making wudu, letting the water run over you, is a physical and spiritual reset button that cleanses you from the grime of digital distraction. Third, make the ordinary sacred through intention. Reconnect with your fitra by seeing Allah's signs in everything. This is about transforming mundane acts into worship. Before you drink water, say Bismillah. After, say Alhamdulillah. You have just elevated a biological necessity into an act of dhikr. You are actively remembering that every blessing, every sip of water, is from Him. This is how you reclaim your moments. Fourth, leave a trail of remembrance. Your words shape your reality. This isn't mysticism, this is spiritual truth. Consistently using your tongue for verbal dhikr is your primary weapon. Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. These phrases are your spiritual firewall. They are you actively overriding the whispers of ghafla with the magnificent truth of Allah. Each utterance is a declaration taped to your soul, stating, I am here, and I remember my Lord. So what is our path forward from this moment? It begins by asking ourselves the right questions. What parts of my fitra, my pure God-given nature, have I allowed to be forgotten? What righteous ambitions did I have that grew small because the whispers of the world made me afraid? What parts of my identity as a servant of Allah have I lost? Not because I chose to change, but because I simply stopped remembering. A profound spiritual battle is being waged for your attention, because your attention is the gateway to your heart. But here is the truth that no algorithm can delete. Behind the fog, behind the noise, your soul still remembers its promise to its Lord. You are not erased, only hidden. You do not need a new system or a guru. You just need to remember. Remember what you have been intentionally made to forget. Your thoughts are your territory. Your attention is your weapon. And your remembrance of Allah, your dhikr, is the map that always leads you home. If something inside you stirred while watching this, if you felt a light turn on in a room you forgot existed, that wasn't me waking you up. That was your own fitrah responding to the call of your Lord. That was the memory of your first promise, pushing through the noise. My role is only to point towards the exit. Your role is to walk through it. Remember Allah, and whatever you do, do not go back to sleep.